Hi Nat5, so we are looking at energy transfer and movement through ecosystems. Okay, so first of all we have to look at how we try and show where energy is going. And what we use is quite simple, we use chains. Okay, so we have, and you've seen these, we start with the producer. The energy is then transferred, and this is where you have to be very careful. The arrow shows energy moving. Okay, the energy is transferred to whatever feeds on it. Now I'm being quite careful here, I'm not using the word eat, because sometimes we eat, put it through a digestive system, stuff like that, that's us. But there are plenty of other things that do all sorts of weird and wonderful ways to get the energy in. So we are just talking about energy transfer. Okay, now this first level in the food chain after the producer is called the primary consumer. Okay, primary because it's the first thing that feeds on something else that is not making its own food. Okay, that's the consumer bit. Because in this case, it's only eating plant material, then we say herbivore. Okay, all of these are the terms that you had before. And then to link it further up, we put it to the secondary consumer, and in this case, only animal material being eaten, so we're saying it's a carnivore. Okay, you have to be able to use these and apply information and pull information out from them and pull them from food webs. It's not too bad, it shouldn't be particularly complex. Just remember it always starts with a producer, and then your arrows should be going to where the energy goes. Okay, so there is a problem with energy within any food chain, and that is that the thing that's actually just eaten will then use some of that energy. And the thing that feeds on it is not necessarily going to get all the energy that was in the organism that it's just fed on, because you're going to lose a lot of that energy. So if you think about the mouse that's just eaten the grain, it's then going to start using that energy that's inside the grain. So some of it is going to be completely lost to the system because it's going to use it as heat, it's going to use it to make other things, it's going to use it to move around. Anything that uses up the energy means that that energy doesn't go on to the next level. Okay, anything that the next level feeds on but can't actually digest it, that would be the same deal. You know, so anything that the consumer doesn't actually manage to consume in terms of breaking it down and using it, so like bones, beaks, feathers, things like that, and anything that is not making it, so anything poo-wise or whatever, not going to go. So the energy loss that you're expected to recognise for this one, it's pretty massive. Okay, you're talking about 90% is lost. The stuff that goes into the waste, there is potential for a decomposer to come in though, and you're supposed to recognise that these are a kind of additional side to the food chain. They don't fit anywhere in just one level, they fit everywhere. So any dead plant material, dead animal material, and that would include things like shed skin cells, things like that, they will feed on them, and so they will actually get some of the energy that's actually getting lost from the chain. Okay, but in the food chain we're just looking at that main energy transfer going producer to primary consumer to secondary consumer. You could go as far as a tertiary consumer. You're unlikely to go much further, and I'll explain why in the next set of slides. So we're talking about, in that main energy transfer, losing about 90%. That's pretty massive. So just to recap, okay, here is our energy transfer. 10% gets from the first to the second one, okay, and they'll be able to use that for growth. 90% of it you'll lose because there's heat, there's movement, and there's undigested materials. There's your best 3 examples, okay, and that's us.